Alright, hello guys. In this video I'm gonna show you how I made this folding paper crane origami video. Let's give it a look. Alright, one more time. Okay. Yeah, you can see it's pretty simple. I'm gonna show you where to get this model and also how you can make this animation with very little effort. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so the way I get the model is from this website. It's called origamisimulator.org. It's an online website where you can just get like little examples of different origamis, and then you can see what they are, and also you can download the file. So what I did was go to samples, origami, and I think I got the crane flat. Not sure. Let's see. Wow, this is totally not the one I want. Maybe crane 3D. And also you can animate the process, like if it's 100% folded or if it's just a flat piece of paper. And this is very important for us because we want animations. So you can see this has already the animation built in, so we can just go to file and save simulation as OBJ. This will give you a flat or still model. So in order to do the animation, we actually need a few more models. So I'm gonna download the flat one like this and then just save it. I would actually take the double-sided just for rendering purposes. And then maybe, let's say, full percentage, 50 is good. So the reason why we want to download all these OBJs is that it's gonna give us a transition between the flat piece of paper to the complete model. And then kind of a pro tip here, you probably want to wait till it's done simulating and then download this file like this, and then maybe 100%, or actually you can see once it's folded, the paper is actually getting really close, and this is called Z fighting. This is because some piece of geometry gets stuck together or very close. It will give our it will produce problem for our renderings. So I would actually go for like a 98% or 96%. Yeah, this is good. I'm gonna download it again. Alright, and then next step is to take all the OBJs into the Cinema 4D. Alright, so now I'm in Cinema 4D. I'm just gonna import all my OBJ files. You can just drag them in and then click OK. And this would be just repeat all the steps till you have everything inside Cinema 4D. Oops. Wrong one. And then 75% and then 97%. Okay, get all of them in and then make them into one file. So just copy pasting. This would be the 97%. This is the 0%. And then this one is what, 75%. 75%. This is 47%. Alright, so I'm just gonna hide all of them. Just leave the 0% now. And I'm gonna add a tag to it. It's called morph. You can just type to search. This is, I think this is, yeah, rigging tags pose morph. And then I'm gonna select point, and then just lock this click this lock here, it's gonna lock this interface. So now we can just select all of them and then drag them here. It's gonna ask us if we want absolute or relative morph target. I would go for relative because that way the position or scale effect would not screw me up, basically. Alright, so rearrange them so that this is 0% and then the progress towards the finished pose. Alright, well, let's just see what this absolute mixing is. Whoops. Okay, let me see this one. Alright, so the problem was that I click on the position mixing instead of the points mixing. That's very important because the position, you can see they did not change. All of them have the same position. But what we want is actually point mixing. So let's do that again. Drag them all in. Relative. And then arrange them so that it's 0 all the way to the full extent. And then let's see, just hide all of them, and then wow, let's see what we get. Okay, so we are having this weird issue. That's because we are adding a little bit too much influence, but we're gonna fix it later. So right now, let's just do some keyframe. Like here, I want strength, and also want the strength for each and every single one of them. And then later on to, let's say, frame 30, I want this to be 100%, but I don't want any influence on all of them. Let's see what we get. Okay, it's a pretty rough animation. Let's play it. Okay, it's just very, very hard. What we want to do is actually, I'm gonna apply jiggle deformer. So if you don't know, jiggle deformer is something that can calculate the position or point movement and then have some kind of a jiggle effect on them. So you can see this has make it a little bit more vibrant or jiggly. Alright, so I can see there are some overlapping or face intersecting. This is because we have a very, very rough animation. We just set two animations keyframes, or one at the start, one at the end. And you can see when these got linear interpolation. What we want to do is actually set them at a different change level so that it's not intersecting the faces anymore. So what we can do is we can of course go into the curves. Oops, sorry, I just caught my Siri. You can go into the curves and manipulate the curves, but I actually like to do something else. Like when we are, oops, why is it not? Oh, okay. So yeah, when you're dragging the timeline animation to see your animation, if you see something weird, just deactivate the jiggle. The jiggle deformer calculates the frame before this frame and also after this frame, and then do some interpolation. So when you're just dragging along the timeline, it will actually screw up the animation. You will see some weirdness. So if you're seeing anything weird, just try to deactivate this jiggle deformer, and you should probably be good to go. I'm just going to add a little bit more keyframe. I'm going to turn on the automatic keyframe, which is this capital A here. And I'm just going to try to, let's say we decrease set this kind of speed, and then here we want no, and just a little information from here. Let's see what this goes. Not really good. Okay. Alright. This looks a little bit too long. Let's view it with the jiggle deformer. Okay, this one needs to be recalculated. Turn off the jiggle deformer for now, and okay, let's see. This needs to have a lot more influence. I'm just manipulating the curve to a position that I think I'm gonna like, and then view the process. Okay, so still some intersecting going on, but I think you get the idea. You can tweak it way more than you'd like. I spent too much time on this. Alright, I'm just gonna move on and say this is good. Okay, so after this, what we want to do is first toggle on the jiggle deformer, and then you can see this position is not really very good. I'm gonna make a null and then move this into the null, and then maybe, oops, yeah, again, toggle off the jiggle deformer. And you see, voila, it's good to go. Just gonna rotate it a little bit, and then position it somewhere I like. Okay, let's say this is good. Alright, I'm just gonna move it out of the null and then have a clean null like here in the center, and put it under that null. This is gonna serve as kind of an animation purpose. So what I want to do now is that I want to turn on the jiggle deformer. You can see this is weird. So go to frame 0 and you should be good, and then view the animation. But I actually don't want this jiggle deformer thing to affect me anymore. So I'm going to click on this object, and then I'm going to hit Shift C. It call up this kind of a command palette. I'm just going to type, let's say, cache. What I want is a point cache. I want a point cache tag. I'm not sure which one is it. I'm just going to try this. Okay. So a point cache, as the name suggests, it's going to cache all the points. So I'm just going to go to frame 0, and then on the point cache, say store state, and then calculate. It's going to calculate everything, and then I'm going to turn off the jiggle. Let's see how our caching is going. It's pretty good. Okay, it caches all the animation, so that now if you just make a duplicate and then say I don't want this jiggle anymore, I don't want this pose morph anymore, let's see if this still has the animation. It does. So the animation data actually transfer to this point cache tag here. So try to not mess with it, and if you want to manipulate your animation, you could do it here. You can do the offset, say, let's say 10 frame, so this would only activate on the 10th frame instead of the 0 frame, like this. And this scale is actually just, if you type it to 200, this will just scale or speed up the animation like this. It's very fast. So if you want some tweaking, you can do it here. I'm just gonna do it let's say 120. Okay, let's say this is good, and I want to add like a little background or a little box in the bottom, and then I want a camera. Again, Shift C can do that for you, so you don't have to do everything from here. Whoops. Yeah, this is not the camera I want. Let's do it from here. Just a standard camera, and I want it to be a super long lens, just so that I can focus on this object. And then, you know, just the usual lighting and texturing stuff. I'm just gonna speed up here. I use Grayscale Gorilla. You can do it your own. It just saves your time. So, gonna open plus library, and then search for the paper material. I think I used something quite old, like a paper old book, I think. I'm gonna download it here, delete all the unused material. Whoa, okay, my bad. Apply it here, and then I think I used a marble material on the ground. Let's try to find one. Yeah, this one will do. And then I think I also have a kind of a worksheet material. This matte green, I guess. So I will also have kind of a plane. Make it bigger, and then move it up. Remember the Z fighting, so that they're not very close, too close that our program will crash trying to render them. But just give it a little bit of space is good enough. Let's see. Okay. Then get this material. Okay. Now I need some lighting. Let's say Octane HD. Oh. Is it just HDRI? Yeah, it's HDRI environment. And I'm gonna add a tag on it. It's HDRI link. Gee, they have two things. Okay. And then put the texture under here, and then open plus library. Just try to find any HDRI you like. I'm gonna try to find some office indoor lighting. Let's say this one. I think it's set. Okay, one thing you need to make sure is that click in this and then make sure the color profile is linear. It's probably not going to change a little bit, but if you want to do it the right way, you should probably change it to linear. And then just open Octane Live Viewer and fire it up. Let's see. Okay, it's a little bit too bright. Let's just rotate this to an angle that's comfortable. Yeah, let's say I want to do it from the back this time. And then lock it, lock the view, change it to PT, path tracing, but you can see it didn't really change a lot. And path tracing is actually gonna tax on your GPU. It's kind of computational heavy. So if it didn't change much, I suggest you to go back to direct lighting. But it's your choice. So let's say we're good to go. We're just gonna render it. But if you want to do a little more animation, let's see. This right now just just transform without any reason. So what I want to do is to create a little bit of animation so that this kind of flies up and down, you know. So what we can do here is toggle up the animation, and then let's actually add a keyframe to their position and also rotation. On the first frame, I want it to be very close to the ground. Yep. And then later on, it's gonna... right, the animation starts at 10 frames, so we want to keep that in mind. And then once the animation starts, I want it to pop up, and then maybe rotate a little bit, and I want to add some kind of a springy-ish animation here. So like that. And then a little bit of backfire here. Okay, let's see. Alright, it's good. Pretty good. Okay, once you're happy with the camera frame and the animation, you can just render it out. And yep, this has been the tutorial about how to make an folding origami crane with little to no effort. Very simple, very fast, very easy. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.